Next on Stampede,
a special performance by the Airmen of Note.
a nationally recognized Islamophobia expert,
Plus, a look at the upcoming Christmas concert.
and get to know our new musical program director.
In sports, women's volleyball hits the road to the national tournament in Iowa, plus the cross-country nationals.
Bottom line for us is nationals that's our goal every year.
And later, we sit down for our Making the Difference segment with Maddie Troyer.
These stories and more are coming up next.
Stampede TV begins now.
Welcome to Stampede TV. I'm Cindy Armstrong.
And I'm Erin Donovan. The Airmen of Note performed earlier this month in Secret Chapel.
Stampede TV's Elijah Manship gives us a closer look.
On November 15th, Milligan's campus was blessed by a musical performance from the Airmen of Note. The Airmen of Note are the premier jazz band of the United States Air Force. The band is made up of 17 members playing trumpet, trombone, bass saxophone, alto saxophone, tenor saxophone, baritone saxophone, piano, guitar, bass, drums, and vocals. Milligan invited the band to come play while they were on the 4th day of their 8-day tour across America. I got the chance to talk to Master Sergeant Kevin Sarovich and ask how he landed a spot on the band.
It's a long and arduous story, but essentially I majored in music at University of Missouri, Kansas City. I grew up playing music. I played in New York City for a number of years, freelancing. And then I auditioned originally for the Air Force Academy Band in Colorado Springs first in the regional band system. I won that job, went to basic training and performed there for a year, and I was able to take the audition when a slot opened up. Most of these slots don't open up except for once every 20 to 30 years. So I took my shot and was very fortunate to win, and that's what brought me here.
The Airmen of Note have been performing for almost 7 years together and were welcomed to Milligan by a completely sold-out show and a packed house. During the show, the band showed their skills by performing a variety of different jazz pieces. Towards the end of the show, the band members had all the veterans in the audience stand to show their appreciations for them. I talked to freshman Logan Garzonio about why this was his favorite part of the show.
They honestly deserved it. They deserve to be recognized for all that they've done for this country, for protecting our flag and protecting our people on any other parts of the world. And that, for me, is just amazing, that they finally got noticed.
Hopefully, the Airmen of Note can come back soon so that those who missed the performance can experience it for themselves. Reporting from Stampede TV, I'm Elijah Manship.
This was the first time the Airmen of Note performed here, but they hope to return in the future.
Dr. Todd Green, a nationally recognized Islamophobia expert, came and talked to students and faculty. Dr. Green is professor of religion at Lutheran College and is considered an expert on the topic of Islamophobia. In his 2 presentations, he discussed his book, Presumed Guilty: Why We Shouldn't Ask Muslims to Condemn Terrorism. His presentations were filled with facts and ideas he has researched over his career. Stampede TV's Elijah Manship asked Dr. Green what got him interested in the study of Islamophobia.
After 9/11 particularly, it became such a massive problem, and for me it became a moral problem, it became a theological problem, and not enough people in the majority population, and particularly whites and white Christians, were doing enough about it. In many cases they were the culprits. So I wanted to make a difference in that and to push back on that narrative.
Dr. Green hopes to come back for discussions in the future. Milligan's newest major is preparing for its first showcase. This year, Milligan announced the addition of a musical theater degree program to its already wide offerings. Dr. Carrie Klofak, who is new to the Milligan community, has been selected to lead this new program. Earlier this month, it was released that the program's first performance will be Disney's The Hunchback of Notre Dame in the spring of 2019. They held interviews earlier this week, open to all students. In an interview with Dr. Klofak, she explained some of the challenges that accompanies a production of this size.
Some of the challenges definitely will be scenic design. This is a huge show. It's going to be, 20 to 25 people, and that's not including the choir. The choir will be added to that as well. So it's a big costume show. Musicals, especially contemporary musicals, you need microphones for. So that's a huge cost and a huge undertaking for our sound design. Overall, it's just a huge show.
This production is sure to entertain. Milligan's The Hunchback of Notre Dame will be running March 27th through the 31st of 2019. Be sure to mark your calendars now. You won't want to miss this.
If it's Thursday, you already know what that means. 2 Thursdays ago marked the last trivia night of the semester, and here's a recap. Trivia Thursday was an event started last year that continued to be popular this year. Teams of up to 6 members, with 1 faculty member allowed for each team, competed each week. There were 2 rounds with all different types of questions asked, and a score was given at halftime before the halftime question, and then before the final question. Prizes would go to both the first and second place each week. The categories of questions included things such as literature, sports, history, music, movies, and more to allow a broad range of questions. There were also theme nights throughout the semester that were very popular, such as Disney and Harry Potter.
When y'all go shh before we ask a question, that's my, no. I think just being able to interact with so many different students, and this brings a wide variety, I think, of our students. So it's people that wouldn't necessarily spend time together or go to the same event. It brings just a wide diversity of our students.
Yeah, for me, I would probably say just the excitement that kind of erupts whenever they get a question right. It is visceral in some aspects of just seeing them light up in those moments.
Stay tuned for next fall semester when Trivia Thursday returns.
This month, the Art Gallery in Durthick Hall hosted 2 photography exhibits by seniors Sean Whitson and Andrea Holtzinger.
Both students are photography majors and had a chance to showcase their work.
This month, the Art Gallery in Durthick Hall hosted 2 different photography exhibits by seniors Sean Whitson and Andrea Holtzinger. Sean is a double major in biology and photography, while Andrea majored in fine arts and photography. Sean Whitson combined his passion for science and art for his senior portfolio. His exhibit, entitled Near and Far, featured multiple images of objects at varied distances. Alternatively, Andrea Holtzinger's portfolio was inspired by Proverbs 3, verses 5 and 6. Trust in the Lord in all your heart, and he will make your paths straight. While preparing the exhibit, Andrea reflected back on her years here at Milligan and expressed appreciation to her professors. Both gallery openings were a success. Keep a lookout in spring for the next senior portfolios. This is Cindy Armstrong reporting for StampedeTV. Be sure to check out the next senior portfolios during the spring semester.
One of the best parts of the holiday season is the music, and Milligan's Christmas concert is no exception. The glorious sights and sounds of the season were a great start to the Christmas festivities as the Milligan Music Department presented its annual Christmas concert. The performance featured choirs, the orchestra, and the organ in the beautifully decorated Mary B. Martin Auditorium of Seeger Memorial Chapel. The evening included a carol sing-along and concluded with a moving candle lighting and singing of Silent Night. The concert was free but had an offering with a suggested donation of $5 to benefit the college's music program. This is an annual event and one that is usually sold out. Community members, students, and faculty and staff all come together to witness this yearly tradition.
I really love playing in the Christmas concert just because it's so nice to revisit some old favorites and also just see the candles in the audience and how it blesses other people and hear all the positive reactions. Just a really good way to get in the Christmas spirit.
Be sure to stay tuned for more performances by Milligan's musical groups. Finals are approaching fast, and you are sure to be spending extra time in front of your computer or hovered over books.
I met up with Milligan professor Tasha Clay, who also teaches yoga. She shared with me a few of her favorite poses to reduce stress.
Hi, my name is Tasha Clay, and I teach at Milligan College. I also am a certified yoga teacher. Today, I would like to share with you 5 of my favorite yoga poses that reduce stress, called the ragdoll. So you just stand up, you bend your knees, hips are hip distance, your feet are hip distance apart, and you fold forward just to your edge. You never want to go past your edge. Then you take your hands and wrap around, find your elbows, and you just hang here just like a rag doll. which is my absolute all-time favorite relaxation posture. It's called waterfall. Lie back on your back and press your feet straight up, flex your feet. Palms open, it reverses your blood flow, and it is just incredibly relaxing. You can also do this up against a wall as well. And you just lay back and relax and let go. I could stay here a lot longer than 5 minutes. It feels great. So those are 5 yoga postures that I feel that reduce stress and they feel so good and you'll be ready to study for your final exams. I wish you well. Namaste.
Check out the full video with all 5 poses on our website, milliganstampede.com.
After the break, we'll talk with Maddie Troyer in our Making the Difference segment.
And later, we take you to the Holly Jolly Market.
Hammocks. They're one of our favorite pastimes. Student leaders promise new mounts behind dorms to make things even easier.
It's going to allow for hopefully 14 hammocks.
But when a year passed with no mounts, we asked why.
The hammock mounts that had not been installed a year after the plan was announced.
Those interview requests were declined. The very next morning, those mounts were installed. We stuck with the story until the very end, because we are in this together. We are StampedeTV, Milligan's student-operated news source.
You may not realize it, but these words, often used to describe someone with a mental health condition, can be very harmful. In a country where 1 in 5 people are affected by a mental health condition, it's time for all of us to step up and change the conversation. Just because someone's struggle isn't obvious on the outside doesn't mean they aren't hurting on the inside. We need to see the person, not the condition. Join with me, pledge to be stigma-free.
Thanks for tuning to this week's segment of Making the Difference. This week we have Maddie Troyer. Maddie, thanks for being here. So you've been nominated for quite a few reasons because you're doing a lot of things to make a difference on campus. One of the things you were nominated for was your involvement with IJM. So what is your position in IJM?
I am the president of IJM.
So what does the IJM club do on campus?
IJM is an awareness and advocacy group for human trafficking. So on campus, we are just spreading awareness of human trafficking locally and globally, and just advocating for those people to be rescued and saved from that.
For those who don't know, what does IJM stand for?
IJM is International Justice Mission.
How far-reaching is IJM?
Worldwide. Yeah, it's based in DC and goes worldwide.
And the IJM club goes on the A21 walk?
Yeah, it was about a month ago. There were 5 of us. We went down and we walked about a few miles in Knoxville, and basically it was a silent walk, and we just held signs, and it spread a lot of awareness.
That's awesome. So you're also involved in another club, the Social Work Club. What does the Social Work Club do on campus?
The Social Work Club is made up of social work majors and minors, and we basically just do work with like social justice, and we're just trying to make our campus more socially aware.
Do you guys have events on campus for students outside of the club to get involved with?
Yeah, so actually right now we're working, the club is like just getting started, so we're working for next semester, and we're really working towards events that are going to happen dedicated towards Black History Month and other things like that.
That's awesome. A third reason you were nominated is the fact that you're an RA and you use that to connect with girls. So how have you used your position as an RA to kind of make a difference on campus?
Yeah, so as an RA, I really just like to be someone that people can come to as an RA or as a friend. It really gives me a chance to reach out to people that otherwise I wouldn't know or get to meet and really connect with.
Do you have a story of connecting with a girl you don't think you would have met if you weren't an RA?
This year, there's a girl in particular, I won't name her, but she lives on my floor, and literally have no other connection with her besides just being her RA. She has a different major than me. She's not involved in sports or anything like that. So I won't go into too much detail, but yeah, there's tons of girls like that. A lot of the girls that I have are freshmen, so it's a really good opportunity for me to reach out to underclassmen. So
they need a guiding hand.
Yeah.
You're also involved with mission work, so you've said IGM does stuff locally, but you've gone on a couple of international missions, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Where have you gone? Like, how have you seen that? How's that helped you make a difference on and off campus?
So I've been on probably about 5 international mission trips. The latest being in Guatemala. We worked at an orphanage and in Guatemala City to just basically help underprivileged children really to just get education and other training and skills that they need to be an active citizen in their community locally. So,
coming back from those mission trips, how has that helped you make a difference on campus?
Well, it's going to be more of an attitude for myself, more of a gratitude and serving others on campus. Really, it's about me getting to see those people and being more grateful for what I have, and then also seeing those people who are less fortunate than I am and getting to serve people here who are less fortunate than I am.
Manager, you truly are making the difference, and I'm so grateful that you were able to talk with us.
Thank you.
Thanks for being here.
Yeah.
Thanks for tuning in for this Making the Difference. Make sure to stay tuned next semester and to see what other students on campus are making the difference.
It's all about making the difference. Do you or someone you know go above and beyond to put others first? Are you active within the Milligan community? We want to know. This year we are introducing a new segment called Making the Difference to let you know what impact our students leave on others both on and off campus. If you know a student doing this, be sure to let us know. You can nominate students through our social media outlet or by email. Here at Milligan, we want to make the difference.
Graduation. It's one of the biggest moments for each of us, but overcrowding meant that we could no longer have just one ceremony. For some, this meant sharing the event with your entire family. For others, splitting up this community.
I know it's not expected and change is hard, but we had this idea we would all matriculate together and we would all graduate together.
We provided you with a voice on an important issue because we're in this together. We are StampedeTV, Milligan's student-operated news source.
A San Diego real estate developer has a big heart for some campfire victims. Bob Wilson gave each student and staff member from Paradise High School a $1,000 check on Tuesday. That's 1,085 people and adds up to a little more than $1 million. The fire ripped through the secluded Northern California town of Paradise earlier this month. The principal says the school is still standing, but more than 90% of the students and staff have lost their homes. Mr. Wilson says while he has no connection to Paradise or school, he felt compelled to help.
I don't know anything about Paradise. If they take away from this that some guy 600 miles away thought enough to come up here and give him a check,
The donation is a symbolic gesture, and he hopes to be the first step to be restoring hope back into Paradise.
With a flip of the switch, Christmas has officially arrived in New York.
The lighting of the iconic Rockefeller Center tree, an annual event now in its 86th year, draws thousands and thousands.
3, 2, 1, go!
With a flip of the switch, Christmas has officially arrived in New York. The lighting of the iconic Rockefeller Center tree, annual event now in its 86th year, draws thousands and thousands.
It was honestly the best. Beautiful, beautiful lights.
The oohs and ahs are well-deserved. This year's impressive Norway spruce is from Walk Hill, New York. It's 72 feet tall, weighs about 24,000 pounds, and has all the trimmings, including 5 miles of lights. And the cherry on top, a Swarovski crystal star weighing 550 pounds. That's a whole lot of bling. The experience wowing adults and kids alike.
I would tell you that it is just like turning 5 years old again.
regardless of how old you are, how big and brawn and bad you think you are, you will turn into a child.
Leading up to the lighting, there were musical performances, but the true star of the show is always the tree. This mom from Philadelphia surprised her boys and drove them up this afternoon.
I think it's just so magical, and it just kicks off sort of the whole Christmas season, and it's so exciting. So I wanted them to experience it in person.
I just love everything about Christmas.
Metal barriers, cement blocks, thousands of NYPD officers on hand to keep everyone safe. 6 access points where security was tight. Large bags are not allowed in, and all small bags were checked and people were wanded.
They do have heavy artillery out here. They actually do have K9 out here. And again, people are being respectful of one another, and that's the key point in having an enjoyable time out here.
The tree will be displayed until January 17th.
Kayla Baker joins us now with sports, and she has the details on our volleyball team's historic season.
After the break, I'll tell you about a tradition that doesn't run out for our cross-country teams, plus AAC basketball wins. Sports is next.
Graduation. It's one of the biggest moments for each of us, but overcrowding meant that we could no longer have just one ceremony. For some, this meant sharing the event with your entire family. For others, splitting up this community.
I know it's not expected and change is hard, but we had this idea. We would all matriculate together and we would all graduate together.
We provided you with a voice on an important issue because we're in this together. We are StampedeTV, Milligan's student-operated news source.
A season for the books. The women's volleyball team has recorded the best season in school history with a trip to the NAIA National Championships in Iowa. The Lady Buffs earned the bid to the National Championship after knocking off Cornerstone University in the opening rounds of the national tournament earlier this month in Michigan. The team took the court on Tuesday in Iowa for their first match of the tournament. The Buffs played number 1 seed Grandview. Grandview seemed to be a little too much for the Buffs as they lost in 3 straight sets. The Lady Buffs were also defeated in match number 2 against the College of Idaho on Wednesday evening. With the second loss, the team has been eliminated from the tournament. The Lady Buffs finished their historic season with a 26-8 overall record. Be on the lookout for a special feature on the team in their historic season. Legacy. It's a way of life for the men's and women's cross-country teams. I sat down with head coach Chris Lane to see how this legacy continues year after year.
Tradition. That's what it's all about for the men's and women's cross-country teams. For the last 16 years, the women's team has qualified to compete at the highest level, the NAIA Cross Country Nationals.
The type of kids we have in our program right now are the reason we're so successful.
Runner Avery DeWolf is one of those athletes that has added to the success this season with only being a freshman.
I was excited to just kind of be in that kind of atmosphere. We called it like the championship air of just like being there and ready to run the fastest, work super hard for your team, harder than you've ever done before. And so it was definitely lived up to expectations of just, you know, being there as a team, working hard for each other and just putting it all on the line.
Putting it all on the line is exactly what they did. The women's team finished 12th out of 35 teams, while the men's team finished with a national rank at spot 17. Coach Lane said it's all about the little things when it comes to being a team of success.
And I think that's the key to us getting there every year.
Drive and dedication are what it takes, and that's what these teams do in the off-season.
Small improvements for each meet, and then probably the last 3 meets we really started seeing big jumps in our PRs. We'd run like 30 seconds faster than the last time we had run before.
Among schools in the Appalachian Athletic Conference, Milligan finished number 2 on the women's side, while the men finished number 1 to close the cross-country season.
It now flows from one year into the next, and there is a tradition that's now being carried on.
A tradition that still remains strong even after 16 years. Kayla Baker, Stampede TV.
Coach Lane said he's proud of his team's success, but the ultimate goal is to win first place at Nationals. The men's basketball team picked up win number 6, beating True McConnell 90-82. Wednesday's game was a game behind the arc as Milligan collected most of their first half points, shooting almost 60% from the three-point line. Juniors Jacob Kaywood and Tyler Falkenberry both racked in 3 shots behind the arc to give the Buffs 18 points. Kaywood was key for the Buffs as he scored a season high of 17 points and accounted for 6 rebounds. Aaron Laverty played a big role with 16 points and 10 rebounds. This marks his 7th double-double of the season. Nichols, Falkenberry, and Pless all scored in double digits to put Milligan over the Bears in the win. The Buffs look to pick up another win this Saturday at Allen University. The number 25 ranked women's basketball team picked up the win on Wednesday night against conference matchup Truett-McConnell. The win marked their 7th straight. The Lady Buffs came to play, outscoring the Bears 84-50 to pick up the win. Junior Emily Kaiser came up big, leading the Buffs with 14 points on the night. Kaylee Ghost and Emma Kate Brown also led the Buffs with 10 points apiece. It was an overall team effort with 14 players scoring for the Lady Buffs. Senior Sarah Robinson was key on the defensive side with 8 rebounds and 2 steals. Senior Mackenzie Razor tallied 6 rebounds in the game. The Lady Buffs are now 7-0 on the season. You can catch the Lady Buffs back in action on Wednesday, December 5th at the Steve Lacey Fieldhouse. And that's what's going on in sports.
Thanks, Kayla. Coming up next, we'll tell you about a Holly Jolly event. More Stampede is after this.
A shooting on campus. It's something we hope will never happen. But it seems to be happening more and more often. We asked questions and discovered what you should do if it ever occurs here.
You could have 22 city officers in that vicinity within 10 minutes.
Now guidelines are posted in every building. It's potentially life-saving information because we're in this together. We're Stampede TV, Milligan's student-operated news source.
You're watching Cindy Armstrong, Erin Donovan, Kayla Baker with sports, and the rest of your Stampede TV team.
Digital video and editing student AJ Trebold takes us to a special event.
It's an event sure to get you ready for the Christmas season.
'Tis the season to be jolly in downtown Kingsport. The first ever Holly Jolly Market opened for business, run by Seasons of Hope, a non-profit organization started in 2012. The Christmas Bazaar was filled with several purveyors, all working with Seasons of Hope to reach a common goal, Christmas for everybody.
This event is a fundraiser for Seasons of Hope Secret Santa Project. We help families, teenagers, and children have Christmas, so we need the funds to do that.
The event was super successful, with over 120 people showing up and around 25 diverse sellers. Jamie Walden was a woodworker that started out small. However, like many others that were there, he found the Holly Jolly Market as a way to promote his business.
A lot of it started through friends. I kind of always tinkered. I love playing around with wood. It's very relaxing for me. Basically, I mean, that's kind of like how it started. Friends asked me, hey, can you build this? Can you build that? Custom toy, whatever the case may be. And then my wife was, she had already was in kind of like into this whole thing. So it just, now she just comes to me, can you build this? Can you build that? And
with something for everyone, it was definitely exciting to see what the community had to offer. Seasons of Hope plans on having a chili cook-off in downtown Kingsport on the 18th of November, as well as another bazaar in the spring. This has been AJ Trebold reporting for Stampede TV.
And a great place to grab Christmas gifts.
And that's all we have for this semester on Stampede TV.
Thanks for watching. I'm Erin Donovan.
And I'm Cindy Armstrong. We have a special announcement before we go. We would like to give a special thank you to our faculty advisor, Dr. Carrie Beth Swaney.
Dr. Swaney is responsible for the success of many students who have come through the communications program with starting Stampede TV.
She has left a lasting impact on all of us, and we are grateful for her and her dedication to our program.
She is being honored by the college during commencements on December 14th, while she will be receiving the highest accolade, the Fide Amore Award.
The award honors her long commitment and outstanding achievements during her time at Milligan College.
We would like to show our own appreciation with the slideshow we've put together from past and present students. Thank you, Carrie.